To start off on the day 2 of the CAA Under-18 Under-20 Africa Athletics Championship. Great to be here.
Well, indeed, it's great to be here. I've also got Otonya Iworima. I mean, if you were listening all through yesterday, she's got expert analysis on each and every one of the sports you'll be seeing today. Well, this is Decathlon. I'm sure she has more to talk about this event here today. Otonya, welcome to today's coverage.
Thank you for having me. As you can see, we have the Decathlon men. Basically, it's a 10-in-1 event for the men. For the women, it's like a 7-in-1 event. For the men, we have 100 meters, we have the long jump, we have the shot put, we have the high jump, we have the 400 meters, and all the 5 happen in day 1. Then we have the discus, the pole vault, the long jump, and the 1,500 meters to close it out. So it's a point scoring event. So you have 3 attempts for each athlete, and the higher your points, the better your chance of winning. So we're about to start the first event of the Decathlon, the 100 meters men, and they're just warming up as we speak.
Oh, Blessing Emmanuel representing the host country Nigeria. We'll hope that they get onto a fly here. We saw the events we saw yesterday, Nigerians dominating the races when it comes to, especially in the female category, the under-20 and under-18s. And we hope our Nigerians here today would try and do the job to live up to the expectations. But take nothing away from the Algerians, who will also compete in this under-20 men decathlon. Isani Mehdi, Getas Walid Fares, Guafe Makene, and Tuati will lead all 4 Algerians alongside a Nigerian and a South African. Well, South Africa also here as the defending champions, and they've got onto a flying start yesterday. We saw them clinch gold medal in the high jump event, where that man Mateo Leroy did all he could against the Nigerian duo Ikweki, and also that man Odo Melvin. So it promises to be entertaining here today. You can see them standing side by side just waiting for the get-go for this under-20 100 meters men decathlon to get underway.
You talked about Leroy earlier. That's a man who did a time of, rather a jump of 2.06 meters. Has a personal best of 2.10 meters, but couldn't meet up with that. And that's the way South Africans have started it. But this time around in Decathlon, they have the Algerians to challenge. Algeria won it in 2019. Egypt came second, and Nigeria came third. Remember, Erewa Peremboy Law was the man who came third. We also have a Nigerian this time around. 10 great events that they will be participating in. What makes it interesting is the fact that they are different events: 100 meters, 400 meters, 1,500 meters, and others to make up.
Oh, we're on the way. The 100 meters under 20 men decathlon. Oh, Blessing Emmanuel leading the charge. Oh, Blessing has got to the host country off to a flying start here, and he gets to the finish line. And that is some way to begin day 2 for the host country Nigeria. Blessing Emmanuel has done the job, was confident from the get-go, and he lived up to every expectations. Off to a great start, Nigeria.
Yes, they have. You see, like I said, it's a point scoring system. So what you want to do is that you have some events that you're weak at, you have some events you're strong at. So if you know an event you're strong at, you want to try and score more points as much as possible for this. We have the championship record at 7,639 points. It was by a South African, Frederick Pistorius. And you want to, that is the mark to beat at the end of the, so if you
talked about 1,500 meters and 1,500 meters, we talked about 110 meters hurdles. There's also the long jump, there is high jump, there is pole vault, there is discus throw, there is javelin throw, and also shot put. So you have to be very good on all of these 10, at least 5, 6, 7 of them, to be able to say you want to be amongst the top 3, which is what they are looking forward to. So 6 athletes, 4 Algerians, 1 Nigerian, 1 South African. It's enough to give the others hope, and I would be surprised if the Algerians have a clean sweep like they almost did in 2023.
Well, there's been some light showers to begin the day here for day 2, but these spectators are not deterred. The athletes are clearly not deterred. They're here to cheer their respective countries. You can see the South Africans all calm and ready to compete. Well, talking about Decathlon, I'll go to my analyst here. Is there a kind of a preference when it comes to Decathlon, like you said, because it's a combined sports together? So do you think athletes should tilt towards that angle, you know, more like in terms of achieving what they want to achieve, or just stick to individual events? But what's the advantage? What's the preference like when it comes to Decathlon?
For most athletes, the pole vault is 1,500 meters.
Real life, keep that shot that way.
Preferences are like the 100 meters.
Yeah, we can hear her. We can hear her. We can hear her.
Jumps.
Stand back and fight.
So what you want to do is like
camera 2, join them.
Meters,
Look for crowd. Look for people. 2 people, 3 people. I'm fine.
Just it gives you a higher point.
I know it's an empty stadium, really, but
like
yeah, thank you.
Register.
Thank you.
You get 0, and it will be hard to make up that point. So usually athletes find their strong point and build on that, and then find a way to at least have points, register points for those weak events. But eventually you have to kind of like do an all-rounder and build yourself in all of them.
You know, I saw Damian Warner, the Olympic record holder in 2021. I'll get back to him.
Yeah, just to hold you on your thought there, just confirmation of the official result of the 100 meters under 20 men decathlon we saw earlier. Blessing Emmanuel just finishing top, and Getas Walid Faris and De Kwotze, the top 3 positions for the under 20 men decathlon. Back to your thoughts as well about the event.
So I took my time to watch Damian Warner do in 2 days, garnering the point of 9,018 in 2021. That was the Olympics, and it was a great athletic event. Won a couple, sometimes he lost a couple. You saw him do shot puts, saw him do javelin, you saw him do the long distance races. He wasn't tops on those ones, but he took advantage of the ones he knew was very good at, and garnering those points helped him in those 2 days to gather all he needed to win the race. Like you mentioned earlier, points are very key. It's not about winning, becoming first. Can you do that for the next 9 events?
That's the advantage I was talking about. You have to pick the one you're very good at.
You have to very much take the advantage, and I think that's what I'm blessing Emmanuel has at least started with. But you talk about Kevin Mayer, the one who has the highest points ever as far as decathlon is concerned for the men. That's the world record. Kevin Mayer, he did that in 2018, 9,126 points. I also have actually hidden. These are names that these athletes will look at and say, okay, there is something to look up to. Beyond the 6,000 points that has been scored in the under 20 male event. So there is a lot to look forward to. All of these names are up there, but you can at least start with breaking what you have in Africa first, then moving on to the others. It's really hard to see an athlete participate in 10 events, 10 good events, Emmanuel. It's really difficult, although almost every athlete has 5, 6, 7 events they participate in, but they just pick the best of it and they go ahead with it.
Still, in case you missed it, here we get the official result once again for the 100 meters under 20 men decathlon. Blessing Emmanuel, Getas Walid Faris, the Algerian, and De Kwotze from South Africa. You're 4-3 for this one. We've also got the 110 hurdles, men and women, to come your way. For the men, it is 110. For the women, it's 100 meters, but under 18s. The men and women to kickstart things before we head back to long jump decathlon. In the meantime, we've still got some of the African contingents here, just all smiles, enjoying and soaking the calm atmosphere here. It is the morning session, you want to say. We've got events coming up much later in the evening, but it's been a great start with the 100 meters decathlon. But sit tight, relax, we've still got more interesting event to come your way. I talked about the hurdles earlier on, but we begin with the hit one for the 110 meters under 18 men. Chahunda Twananyasha from Zimbabwe, Traore Abdul Rashid from Burkina Faso, Ashur Youssef from Egypt, Kogeta Jako from Namibia, and Fenyo Lin also from South Africa. All will be competing for the 110 hurdles for the under 18 men. What are you expecting for this one?
People might be wondering why you say 110 hurdles for men and then 100 meters for women. It's been scientifically proven that men tend to have a longer stride. So to compensate for that, it's 110 for the men and then 100 for the women. And for me, it's like running jumps. I take as a jump, I say that's a running jump. So the aim is to go over the hurdles without letting the hurdles obstruct your speed. So that's the thing. I remember in Beijing 2008, for the hurdles women finals and the hurdles men finals, both favorites to win, hit the hurdles and fell over the hurdles. So sometimes it's not a question of whether how fast you are. If you let that hurdle obstruct you, if you don't go over it, if you hit it, if the back of your leg clips the hurdle, you could fall over. And I remember the lady, she fell over and took the next person with her, and that's 2 people out of there. So it can be a really tricky, very technical event. So if you can do that, then you have a shot at gold.
I've seen the South Africans break the championship record in the last 2 years. The last was done by Nahin Jack. He did a time of 13.31 seconds. And we also had, before that, another South African for the under-18 boys, Ray Hart Strauss, doing a time of 13.92 seconds before the current record by Nahin Jack was created. So this time around, they are very much present, and they will look to do the same thing they've always done in this event. One of the events that gives them the gold and makes them the highest winners of gold medals in the event is this one. When you cannot see such games and not have them, they are in heat 1, and we have that man Afenyo Mian as the one to beat in this race. As you can see the camera currently on him on beep number 270. So for me, I'll be surprised if South Africa wins this heat and then gets ready for the final.
Well, South Africa, they are one of the powerhouses when it comes to track and field in Africa, South Africa, Nigeria. We have Egypt.
Now middle right back then. Was it Portugal? He went to in the
France.
Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze a fresh new track.
I went to Spain.
Yeah, a lot of them just get to leave. We're talking about Fibo Fide at this point. We don't know what her fate will be in the end. That was a lady who also won in this event 2 years ago. Or was it 4 years ago? I can't remember. I think she was actually part of this event. So you put all of these things together and you know that there are so many athletes coming out of the under-18s and the under-20s, but the consistency and how you keep them is really, really key. You looked at the South African yesterday do so well for her nation, finishing second just behind Nigeria in one of the sprint races. So you look at countries and how they lose their athletes, and sometimes you start asking the question, are we doing enough within our nations, within Africa, to keep some of those top athletes who go out there and become the best of the best in the end?
That is a factor, but also another factor that make people go and compete for other countries are the fact that they have a lot of talent. For instance, the Kenyans, and you can only take 3 representatives for games.
Exactly.
You even have now you have the Jamaicans too going to other countries. Even the US athletes, you have them because you can only take 3. The US national trials is almost like an Olympics when you see it, because they have so much talent.
Exactly.
So when you have so much talent like that and you can only take 3 people, people try to go and look for greener pastures elsewhere.
Well,
that's a great angle.
Talking about athletes representing other countries, we saw Oluchi Ndubueze, who represented South Africa yesterday. She's clearly Nigerian, and also she was born and raised in South Africa. And I mean, she did well for herself. And I mean, it's something you see, all over the world. They always want to compete and represent wherever they deem fit for their respective careers. So it's all boils down to the choice of the athletes, just wanting to compete in whatever situation they find themselves. So the athletes are ready, just waiting for the get-go. The hurdles still being put in place. They'll be jumping over. It's always technical when you run and jump over hurdles, different distances. Always technical. It's not as plain as your regular 100 meters, your 110 meters. And on the ice, definitely this is way more difficult and technical. And I'm sure my analysts here will agree with me.
As like you said, it's a technical event. So like they measure their running stride and the jumps, you also have to measure your stride, because your leg has to hit the ground in such an angle that your trail leg can go over the hurdles without hitting it. So if you miss that mark, then the whole 110 hurdles is spoiled, because then you're gonna not be able to take off the hurdles in a way that you don't hit it. So you having a good check mark for the hurdles is also very key. So once you miss those strides, your stride becomes too long or too short from what you've been practicing, you're gonna miss the hurdles.
Still waiting for the get-go for this one to get underway. Well, no Nigerian competing in this one. It's the 110 hurdles under 18s men. We've got 2 heats. First off, we'll begin with heat 1. Just going through their paces before the main deal. Jacko representing Namibia, going to keep an eye on. Also Chahonda Tawanayasha for Zimbabwe.
Of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions, over Commission NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to...
For this third edition, coming on 2 hosts to replace Algeria. But once again, to take you through the start list: Chahonda Tawanayasha from Zimbabwe, from Burkina Faso, Traore Abdul Rashid, Ashu Youssef from Egypt, Jacko from Namibia, and Fenyo Main from South Africa. South Africa, clearly the favourites for this one. And as it stands, we wait to see what the delay is actually, but you can clearly see that these athletes are ready to compete for this one. Well, why no Nigerian here for this hurdles? Let's just talk about what we witnessed, or what we saw from the Nigerians yesterday, especially the ladies, where it was a clean sweep for the heats, the under 18s, under 20s, 100 meters, 400 meters, and the likes of Cynthia and Ezeaku doing their job for Nigeria yesterday, just claiming all the hits. You know, clearly puts Nigeria as favourites to be on the podium when it comes to the final. Now, this is not me just trying to jump the gun too quick, but when you get such results in the heats by landslide against your competitors, clearly puts you up there when it comes to the final as the favourites to be standing on the podium. But you know, we saw Nigerians competing across other sports yesterday, but the athletics was where they really stood out for the under 18s and for the under 20s. Just before the guys will come and with their thoughts, and it's looking like we are finally going to see the 110 hurdles under 18 men all in their position. Athletes on their mark. focused and ready to go. No false starts, and here we go. 110 hurdles, under 18 men. The South African Fenyo Mayan leading the charge, and he comes. Well, we've got one of the athletes who's just lost his footing. Zan Fenyo Mayan has done the job here for South Africa. Well, like my analysts rightly predicted, they were always going to be favourites for this one, and he has done it. Fenyo Mayan for South Africa. The camera pans on the young man, and he has done it for the 110 meters hurdles under 18 men.
We might be looking at a championship record here. That was very close to the championship record. So the championship record they're aiming for is 13:31, and he casually ran a 13:39 unofficially.
Some brilliant race right there. Outpaced everyone. Unfortunately, we had one person go down earlier. And look at how he jogged past the cross line, or the finish line, actually. He most likely will be breaking the record, as they've always done.
Yes.
We've always seen from that man.
Looks like an ice cold Palmer.
And you see, knocking down the hurdles is not a problem if you can do it well.
Yeah.
We had I can't remember the athletes, the US athlete that always used to knock down like 9 out of 10 of the hurdles. Still used to do well. So there's a technique to it. If you can do it well, fine. If you can't, then you better go by without touching it.
Fenyo Mayan, a confident young chap, has done the job for South Africa. This is the hurdles event. Well, we saw, it's not football rather, we saw the Cole Palmer finish in the end. Tells you how confident Fenyo Mayan is just at the start of this race, and he lived up to every expectation, like he rightfully predicted at it.
Telling you, it's going to be really, really easy for him to break that record. Just 8 milliseconds from what Naheem Jack did in 2023 with a 13.31 seconds.
If
That's
he
really
can go
close.
over the hurdles without
Bringing it in there.
Yes. You see, that's the thing about hurdles. You can be fast, but the hurdles can take it down.
We've got Taiwo Jackson pit side standing by with Fenyo Mayan, who just won the 110 hurdles, man. In the meantime, we're coming back to Taiwo as we progress on this coverage, but he's got Fenyo Mayan, who just won the 110 meters hurdles for the men. That was the first heat. We've got heat 2 to follow suit momentarily, and this one will be seeing a Nigerian competing alongside a Ghanaian. We'll wait for confirmation of the start list and what to expect for this Heat 2. Official results from that Heat 1 we saw earlier. Fenyo Mayan for South Africa has done the job. Ashiru Yusuf not too far away, and Jerik Matutu also there for Zimbabwe. Deni Yahia for Egypt. Chahunda Tumananyasha also from Zimbabwe just couldn't make it to the very top 3 at the very end. Heat 2 standing by, and we're hoping to do the job just to replicate what we saw from Fenyo Mayan earlier on. Looking ready. We've got a man from Mauritius trying to compete. Shido Hazel, Matthew Aaron will be amongst the competitors for this one. Benyeksa Mohammed for Algeria will also compete for this one. Manuha Melvin from Zimbabwe, looking keen and ready for the action. He means business from his looks. And we've got Gowon Ogenero no gift for Nigeria. We've got Nigeria and Dole competing together. Hopefully they will be trying to do the job for the host country. Beef number 125 of Gowon Ogenero no gift will be competing for Nigeria in this one. It's 110 hurdles under 18 men. these young athletes kickstarting their respective careers when it comes to athletics. So you want to keep an eye on, you want to remember the name of each and every of these athletes who are competing here for this third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship. And no much delays like we saw from the first, so it's looking like this one will happen just right away. Athletes on their mark. Sure, the spectators here and the viewers at home will be so keen for this one. And here we go, hit 210 hurdles under 18 men. The Nigerian draw just couldn't get to the man on lane 1, and he is taking the lead. Now we've got our winner from lane 1, Aho Mahalel Kwasi.
As you can see, the hurdles can really...
has done really well to clinch this one. That's the man on your screens. Mahalel Kwasi from Ghana. And the Algerian, not too far away in second. Exchange of pleasantries, great show of sportsmanship from these athletes as we take a second look.
Beautiful race, and that man with beep number 212, not happy with himself, had to hold his head after that huge hurdle that almost brought him down. He slowed down right there, still trying to jump, and you could see what Kwasi did. Beautiful finish. The Algerian almost made it for the finish, but it was clear second, and we had a Nigeria come out third in that one. So it was a good race for every of the athletes, but the Ghanaian holding strong, showing that he's also ready for the final.
You can see why navigating the hurdles is really crucial. If you don't, you're really going to miss it. So once you miss the first one, it changes your stride. Then you miss the second one if you're not able to correct that stride. So they're still young. They would learn. The technique will get better.
Indeed, it will get better. These are young athletes, under 18s, under 20s. And as they progress in their respective careers with the right coaching, they will definitely get better when they get to that stage that they would want to be. Oh, we've still got Taiwo Majax on pitch side. We've got the winners of the 2 hurdles. We saw 110 meters for the men. Taiwo, over to you.
The MK Abiola Sports winner in Abeokuta is day 2 of. How far do you think South Africa will continue to do that?
I feel like they're going to win this whole competition.
Okay. All right, all the best to you. Congratulations in advance. All right. Well, I can tell you for a fact that South Africa are bossing as far as this championship is concerned. I have here with me the winner of the second heat of the 110-meter hurdle here in Abeokuta. I must say, what a race that was. There was a bit of tussle between you and the Algerians, but somehow you managed to sneak through, edging past them in record at 13.87 seconds, it would seem. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, right now I'm so excited because I wasn't expecting it. Because at first it was tough, but I was astonished at first. So when I just look into the camera and I just saw and I just see that I got the first place, so I was shocked that it was a miracle.
It's really amazing to see Ghana doing very fine. And is this one of those events where you expect Ghana to actually get a medal, potential of Ghana getting a medal?
I'm really prepared enough to get a first medal. I want to be the first one. I want to be the best of Africa and the whole nation.
All right, all the best to you.
Okay, thanks.
You. Well, surely Ghana is representing, South Africa is representing, and we're seeing the brothers of Africa, young athletes going for pride and glory. It's day 2 of the African Athletics Championship, and guess what? There is more events to unfold here at the MK Abiola Sports Arena. The guys in the commentary, Mani, Zubi, and of course Otona are here to give you more update as it all unfolds here at the MK Abiola Sports Arena. Over to the guys in the commentary booth right now.
Oh, the words from Atom Hali Kwasi from Ghana. He says he wants to be the best. I mean, you get a feeling that this should be the ambitions of these young athletes who've competed so far in this event.
He's looking beyond just this event. He's looking at the world stage, the best in Africa, first off. But he has to first do it right here. And that confidence is what you expect from an athlete. Arthur Mahalek or Mahalel Kwasi, great run he had. And I love that confidence, like you said earlier. It's the way to start. It's just for you to set that standard for yourself and work towards achieving it and even doing better.
Well, Kwasi, remember the name, Arthur Mahalele Kwasi, competing for Ghana. And he has won the heat 2 for the 110 hurdles under 18 men. Oh, still some light showers here at the MKO Abeokuta Sports Arena here in Abeokuta, the day 2 of the 3rd CAA African Athletics Junior Championships. We've still got more events to come your way today. We began with the hurdles for the 110 meters for the men, heat 1 and heat 2. We've still got more decathlon to come your way, long jump and also shot put. These are events that will be coming and also taking us late into the evening as we continue here for day 2.
There is a very funny tradition when it comes to hurdles, especially when you see athletes training hurdles. In order to encourage athletes that might fall off the hurdles, if you ever go into a track to see athletes training, whenever athletes fall off the hurdles, you have the whole athletes there clap for them. It's a way to encourage them that falling off is not a bad thing. You just get back on this thing. So it's a tradition we use in training. Once you fall off the hurdles, you miss something, everybody claps for you to encourage you to get back onto it.
You have to feel for the athletes whenever it's the main event and you fall because of the hurdle, just failing to get to the finish line. You wonder how they get to pick themselves back up. I don't know if I've seen any instance where you fall from the hurdle, you pick yourself back up and you go on to, you know, maybe finish top 3 in races, but it's always going to take a lot to recover from that fall and get back up, because by the time you're back up, the rest of your competitors are way far ahead. And not in the case of 110 meters or 100 meters, or maybe 400, you've got some distance, or 800, you've got some distance to also make some regrouping. But it takes a lot. It's not your regular race when you run above hurdles. It's been a wonderful start to day 2 of this 3rd CAA African Junior Championship here in Abeokuta. You expect the atmosphere to get more intense and more lively for the evening session, but take nothing away from the spectators here, all smiles as they enjoy every off their stay here in Nigeria. Safe to say they've enjoyed it, from the athletes, from their faces, from their reactions. It's been a great facility here we have at the MKO Abeokuta Sports Arena, a refurbished MKO Abeokuta Sports Arena, fresh from hosting the National Sports Festival, and now with an event like this, bringing the whole of the continent together for this 3rd edition. Wherever you look, we've got some presence here in the stadium. The security personnel are not left out. The top journalists across the country also here today for the best of reportage as far as this 3rd CAA Athletics Championship is concerned. It's a Thursday. Well wishes, friends, sports lovers, athletics lovers, also here to enjoy the action. Well, talking about expectations to come, we've also been seeing the finals for the 100 meters, under 18s and under 20s to come much later in the day. From the heats we saw, you could tell that it is always going to be competitive for the finals to come much later in the day, and we are going to be seeing the steeplechase. I don't know what you expect from the steeplechase. You want to talk to our listeners what to expect and what this steeplechase is all about when it comes much later today?
The steeplechase is like the hurdles of long distance, and it's amazing how the events in track and field you have life lessons from them. Like the hurdles, it tells you that no, there's always hurdles in life. If you fall, get back up and continue. It's like the long distance, it tells you life is not a sprint, it's a marathon, so you need to pace yourself. You don't just go all out. Then for the sprint, it tells you, well, that is a short period, so you need to be explosive, you need to go out. Time, chance for you. There's a lesson. That's why it's the foundation for every other sport. And for the steeplechase, I am looking for the Ugandans as usual. I am looking for the Ugandans, but we never know. Like you said, the East Africans, that's kind of like their domain. but other countries are now trying to, encroach into all those distances. So it's kind of like an open field. But for me, I'm looking out for the Ugandans.
And the Ugandans, clearly a country to keep an eye on as far as the long distance races are concerned. While the spectators are still seated waiting, carries your official results for the 110 hurdles under 18 men. It's 2.
The Maid. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under 18 and under 20 athletes blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic Abeokuta Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship, it's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under 18 and under 20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic Abeokuta Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship, it's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under 18 and under 20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic Abeokuta Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship, it's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship, it's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more.
What do you think has changed from the first edition till the very third edition?
Yeah, okay. First of all, thank you for you to be here and to broadcast our championships, our youth championships. I think we have improved it by much more than 50%. You know, we were at the beginning with 12 to 20 countries. We're not 45 countries. We were with 300 athletes. We're now for more than 900 athletes. And even the performance are improving. Everything is improving. And what is very important right now, what we do, is that there are too many countries in the position to win medals than before. Before it was exclusively 4 or 5 countries, African countries. Now we are more than 25 countries that are able to win medals, which is a big improvement.
That's amazing. Another thing to also consider is what this means for young athletes in Africa, and you want to consider the developmental plans of the Confederation of African Athletics, as it were. Can you give us an insight into what developmental plans has been leading us up to this point?
You know, in our plan, we have a 10 years plan. In our plan, the first objective was to push all the African countries to be part of our championships, our youth championships, and we are the only continent to hold under 18 competition. Even World Athletics is not holding World Championships for these people. They cancel it. But we continue because we are sure that this is the way to build African athletics. And you have seen that from these championships and for the former editions, we have a lot of athletes becoming high-level stars. Tebogo was running in these categories before. He was African champion, junior African champion, and youth African champion, and a lot of other athletes. Sidibini was also from this group of young athletes becoming huge right now.
As a technical, member, what would you say is the vision in the next 10 years for this championship, as it were, seeing that you are taking it to different parts of Africa?
What we need right now is the support of governments, different African countries' government to support athletics, because there are some countries where athletics is very, very good, where they have enough money, enough budget, and they're working. But there are other countries where there are some difficulties, and we are begging the governments to come and to help, because this is the first sport in Africa. This is the only sport that gives a lot of Olympic medals, world champion, the only sport that gives Olympic a lot of medals is athletics.
Amazing. I mean, I want to believe it's the first time in Abeokuta, Nigeria, for example. I mean, what do you make of the facilities and all of that? The fact that Nigeria had to step in to cover for Algeria after, for various reasons in court, they couldn't host the championship.
This edition was to be held in Algiers, and for any reason it was not possible. So we moved it to Abeokuta, and we are thankful to people here, to the government of the states, to the people of Abeokuta to accept, as they had only 1 month and a half to hold this championship. It's amazing to have and to succeed, like to have the success that we have right now.
I must say it's been amazing speaking to you, Aziz Dauda. Thank you very much for your time and amazing work you and your team as well putting this up together, ensuring that young African athletes are having an amazing time, and of course thrilling the rest of the world with amazing talent here.
Yeah. Just remember these names that you'll see here, and thank you very much for your coverage.
All right, thank you very much. One thing we should take away from this is that these names that might be relatively unknown, they will become global stars in the future, and that is the purpose of a Junior African Athletics Championship. Aziz, thank you very much, Aziz, for coming, and wish you and Morocco and of course the rest of the country all the best. Well, it's a drizzling Thursday here in Abeokuta. I must tell you that for a fact, but that has not stopped the action at all. It's day 2 of the African Athletics Championship. I'm here with Akim Bobola, who is going to be speaking with us in a bit. And tell you what, it's quite enjoying to see all of the heads coming together to make sure that this championship is taking center stage here. It's really amazing to speak with you at this point in time. As someone who is inside the system, what do you make of what we've seen in the last 2 days so far?
It's been awesome. It's been fantastic. It's in terms of the attendance, the number is quite encouraging. I mean, participating countries and participating athletes, very encouraging number, population indeed. In terms of the facilities, this is world class, you know, and it's good for participation. I mean, the athletes can showcase their talents and their capacity with the kind of facilities that are here on ground. In terms of accommodation, yeah, there were initial hiccups, normal, you know, but everything has been sorted out, and information at my disposal from all our volunteers in the various centers is that, you know, people are settled down, all the countries, athletes and officials are settled down, and we are good to go. In terms of organization, the sequence, you know, is quite professionally done. So kudos to everybody, you know, for what we are seeing so far. And in terms of my committee, volunteers committee, of course you can see it. We're everywhere and we're working, you know, to ensure that we complement the efforts of the local organizing committee within the various committees, amongst the various committees within the LOC.
Well, what do you think this means for the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, and of course the National Sports Commission as well, who they are synergizing to ensure that the planning and organization is up to global standards, as it were?
For me, there's room for improvement in life. You know, that's why you go to college and then you go to the tertiary institution and then you go for masters. So there's always room for improvement. But what I see on ground as a professional myself too is great, fantastic, and good for the image of this country. It's also good that this kind of tournament at this age level is established, is put in place, so that these young chaps can start developing and competing at this age, and the sky is the limits for a lot of them. And I see potentials in the few that have competed so far. I see huge potentials for Africa. Maybe within the next 4 years at the Olympics or something like that, or World Championship, Africa is going to really make an impact with what I saw yesterday.
All right, thank you very much for your time, sir, and keep up the good job you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's still an amazing Thursday here in Abeokuta. The sky is blue, I must say for a fact, and of course it's looking very, very perfect for all of the events we're having here today. And of course we're still going to speak to more individuals, top professionals as well, who are part of this event, making sure that everything is good. But in the meantime, let's get back to Mani and Zubi, who are in the commentary booth, taking you through all of the action happening here at the MK Abiola Sports Seminar. It's day 2 of the African Athletics Championship.
One thing I picked from what the technical director of this year said earlier on, that the short notice for Nigeria to step in to host, and that's huge credit to the National Sports Commission. He got the hosting right during a visit to Algeria, where the CAA sought a new host after Algeria pulled out. I mean, when you have facilities such as this, you want to host events like this. You want to host championships as big as this. We've talked a whole lot about the National Sports Festival, how, before that festival, it was dubbed to be the very best Nigeria has ever seen. And we saw what Ogun State gave us here at this same location, at this same venue, and now hosting the Confederation of African Athletes Championship, the 3rd edition. I mean, it's a huge boost when it comes to sports as far as Nigeria is concerned and the athletes.
I mean, from the opening ceremony of that event, it was world class. The opening and the closing ceremony is something I've never witnessed in Nigeria. Maybe you might want to take me back to Koja. It was also very, very huge. The All Africa Games, but what we saw at the National Sports Festival was great, and that's why we always ask for maintenance culture in Africa, which is what has helped Nigeria at this point, refurbishing the MKO Abiola sports arena, having these athletes come from different countries to witness this and also speak well of Nigeria. It's really some huge plus, and some applause, taking it within the shortest of notices to make sure that this event is going down in Abeokuta. You must give it to the DG of the AFN. I was talking about of the Athletes Federation of Nigeria. That's none other than the man who has always been there, Bukola Olopade, and some other great men who have made this happen, Tenaba Kokoa.
Well, we've got your start list for the 100 meters under 20 men semi-final heat 1. Gomez William Patrick will compete. Mefembe Shuma from Zimbabwe, Magano Nazat from Namibia, Chimonia Frey from Zimbabwe, Karabo Letebele, we saw him yesterday for South Africa, Mbila Moses for Ghana, and Tauya Frevo for Zimbabwe. All will compete in the semi-final heat 1, 100 meters under 20 men.
We have the record being held by Lesedi Tibongo from Botswana at a time of 9.91 seconds. So they have, we'll see what they can do. As we know, Tibongo is the gold medalist in the last Olympic Games in the 200 meters. So it's a time that they're going to have to chase. But from looking at what they've been doing recently, it's doable. We have the South Africans, we have the Nigerians. You could close your eyes and tell anybody which events Nigerians are very good at. And we have the sprints, the quarter miles, and the jumps to start with. So
it's really an interesting event, and like you mentioned, having athletes do a sub 10 in Africa looks like you've done something really huge. Not too many of them do it these days, so even at 10 or a bit over 10, it looks good. We saw the way athletes celebrated, and we're looking at some of them coming up against each other in this race today. So like those names you mentioned, athletes from Tanzania, or rather from Zimbabwe, from Namibia, from Cape Verde, South Africa, Ghana, and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe having about 3 athletes in this first heat makes it something really, really interesting. And like you mentioned, Karabo Letembele is one of those names we are looking out for South Africa. And you look at what they had yesterday, a couple of them really were impressive as far as this is concerned. And these are some of the names you will be also looking at as far as this 100 meters is concerned. So a couple of Nigerians, maybe one of them for the male, going through to the semi-final. It's about going to the final right now. You have to put in all your best to see that you beat these guys who have traveled down to compete against you. 2 Nigerians actually. We'll have Caleb, we'll have Salim Tohib for this one. So confidence must be brought into this. But we start off with the first heat that has no Nigerian for the semi-final.
While the athletes are getting set, just wait a little more for this one to kickstart. It's the 100 meters under 20 men semi-final. Each one and each 2 who will be making it to the finals. A lot at stake for these young athletes. Just going through their paces before the main event.
I talk about some of the names they are looking at. Kenya's Clinton Owatia is one of the names. He ran the best of times yesterday, putting all his energy to make sure that he ran 10.37 seconds. He will be one of the guys you will be having your eyes on as far as today's semi-final is concerned. He actually had earlier this year a 10.44 seconds, doing better than that with 3 milliseconds. That's something he will be riding on. And you know that some of them don't put in all their best. We also have Caleb John, the Nigerian, one of the athletes to look forward to. He had one of the best times also in the heats yesterday, and we'll be looking to bank on that for this particular event. He ran a time of 10.49 seconds alongside Chimoya Trey. These are two guys who actually did what they had to do to advance to the semi-final with that same time. Then we're leaving at one man who was also very, very interesting to talk about. I mentioned his name earlier, Letebele Karabo. That's the South African who ran a time of 10.54 seconds. He actually had to jog through the end of it. And that's one man I am maybe tipping for this because of the times he has done in the past and what South Africa are doing in the athletics events this time around. He has a personal best of 10.17 seconds, so we might be looking at him nicking it at the end of this. This is talking about the combined semi-finals at this point, but they are surely going to run in different heats, not all of them put together. Like Caleb is going to be running in heat 2, rather in semi-final 2. So you just look at the best of athletes and what they've been able to do for themselves, and you give them kudos. So at this point, our eyes will be on that man from Kenya, who has run the best of times, but he'll be running the second heat, and that looks like the toughest of them all as you move into the final. Most likely to pick in 4 each to get into the final, most likely. So we'll have 8 to compete in the final from the semi-finals.
And as we go, we will get confirmation of how the progression into the finals will be. But these runners are ready to compete. They are ready to go. Karabo Letebele participated in the Heat 4 yesterday. He finished with aplomb. Has resulted in a place here in the semi-finals today. We had a brief chat also after that race. He was so confident, hoping that he will secure his place into the finals. The 110, rather the 100 meters on the 20 men's semi-final, 2 heats to come. Heat 1 and Heat 2. The Botswana contingents also getting ready to partake in their own event, and a decent turnout here. The spectators just doing their best to enjoy all that they could enjoy here, catching every bit of the action. Some events currently ongoing simultaneously, but in the meantime we'll wait for the 100 meters on the 20 men's semi-final to come your way.
Just to remind you, Nigerians have been dominant in the last 2 under 20 men's 100 meters. In 2019, it was Enoch Adegoke winning with a time of 10.29 seconds, and just 2 years ago, Poinsala Ajayi won with a time of 10.51 seconds. So we look at seeing something different, or maybe someone breaking the championship record of 10.29 seconds. Like I mentioned earlier, one of these athletes have already done lesser time as his personal best, but can he hold on to that record for this event, which is what we are looking forward to at the end of the day.
Yes, the list is correct. The length.
Salim Tohib will be competing in Heat 2.
Oh, okay, so it's the length that they have an issue with.
And also Caleb, both Nigerians.
Okay.
Hoping to do the host country proud in this event. Salim Tohib competed alongside runners like Jimonia Frey, who's also here in this semi-finals. We saw that in the heats yesterday, day 1. But this time he's got top power position, Salim Taib. He needs to up his game if he wants to take something. Caleb also competed alongside Mbila Moses in the heats we saw yesterday. So both also will be competing once again in this semi-final. Mbila Moses slated for heat 1, Caleb slated for heat 2. Sometimes you get a feeling that this delay is something that these athletes might not really want. They just want to get into it, get involved in the action from the very get-go. But just to remind you once again, if you're just joining us, day 2, live at the MKO Abiokuta Sports Arena in Abeokuta. It is the 3rd CAA African Junior Athletics Championship. The maiden edition is held in Côte d'Ivoire. The last edition is in Zambia and Nigeria. Currently playing host for the 3rd edition.
I'm getting graphics to type in them. Yes. Yes, journalist, the Nigerian journalist. Stand by camera 9, stand by Gucci. We are still waiting. Comment, we are still waiting.
So very much live at the MKO Abiokuta Sports Arena while we wait for the 100 meters on the 20 men's semi-final, heat 1 and heat 2 to come. It's another race that promises to be truly competitive, as these athletes will be looking to make it into the final. Well, while we continue to wait, we will be going back to Taiwo Majex on pit side for some couple more chats and interviews.
3, 2, 1, Taiwo, you're live. It's sound again. What's happening to his microphone again? You are on 0. Stop, Micah. Hold on, Taiwo. Hold on. Just smile. Stand by 3. It's back. What is happening to your microphone now? We can't hear you. Guys, this is the second time you guys have done this. It's not nice on air now. Live on air. We can't hear him. Number 5. My own. Number 4. Now I can hear him. Okay, so what was you talking about? We can't hear him. Talk, guys. I will talk. Okay.
Athletics, proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot. The stakes are high. History's about to be made.
But we'll go on. I have to be here to introduce your guests. So can you understand? We'll run our interview. Stand by 3.
I must apologize to you for that little technical glitch, but that is fixed now. I'm still here with Michel Emmanuel, one of the youngest journalists here covering this championship, as it were. Michel, how are you feeling? I mean, you are one of arguably the youngest journalists here covering other young athletes, being amongst professionals who have been in the game for years.
I feel very happy and accomplished. I feel like I've really accomplished something, doing my best and reporting sports I really enjoy it because you enjoy everything from the field to giving people that live thrill, to reporting everything that happens, giving them that mirror to see their stars. So it's a good feeling for me.
It's amazing seeing all that young athletes, but what's more in it for you, seeing all that young professionals, and how far do you think this goes, looking at the opportunity a championship like this gives young journalists like you?
I feel like it has really brought me to the world. It has really exposed me. I'm thankful for this opportunity, and I hope and continue to do my best.
I wish you all the very best, all right, and keep doing your amazing job, Emmanuel. That's Michel Emmanuel, one of the young journalists covering the Confederation of African Athletics Championship here in Abeokuta. I must say that there is more events happening right now. For example, we have got the 100-meter men event, and of course, we're going to stand by to Mani Zubi, who are on the commentary booth to give you all of the updates as it happens here in Abeokuta.
We're not too far away now from the action. The 100 meters under 20 men's semi-final. 2 hits to come your way. Tende Chuma from Zimbabwe. And also further joining others to contest for the 100 meters under 20 semi-final. Magano Nasip for Namibia. Beat number 977. Some raw smile from Magano Nasip.
I'm ready, guys. I'm ready. Yes.
Ready to go on your mark.
6 down open. Go one. Thank you. All standing by, all on one.
Meters on the 20 men semi-final, heat 1, who will be making it to the final.
That did not say what. I don't know. I don't have the list. Do you have the guy's name on this on this Nigeria?
Here we go on the 100 meters semi-final. Here they come now, getting to the finish points. This was really close and intense. And Karabo Let's from South Africa. And they continue to show why they are the country to beat when it comes to this races so far as far as this championship is concerned. And they've done justice to this one. Great race, was highly competitive, but got there in the end.
Great start for all of them. You saw the way they outpaced themselves, and you saw what that man Letibili did right there. Man with the best of times of 10.17 seconds. Just outpaced every other athlete. Crosses the line easy. And it was a competition between second and third. He just did his job cleanly, and as expected, he was tipped to win this one and has done it. But maybe not the best of times. Not looking so comfortable. Down looks like he's pulled something. But a good race for that man Letibili from South Africa.
You can see that he kind of held back. He was actually even looking back. So once you see that, this is the semi-final, so once you see that you're in front, there's no need to exert that much energy because you still have the finals to run. So he kind of held back, so we are expecting more from him in the finals.
Just hope he's fit and good to go. Looked like he had to just go straight down. after that good start from him. I love the race he's just run, showing you why he has the best of times, and showing you why he's one of those athletes that might be nicking the record already set by the Nigerians, or the Nigerian actually, from the last event. And that's what he is looking to do, going past what Koinsola has done earlier. Great race again from Letebele, the man who has the best of times. Just remember him, 10.17 seconds is his personal best. But this time around, he ran 10.46, I guess. Just not official. We'll wait to confirm that in a bit.
Let me quickly give you the result of this sleep that just ended. Stand by 353. Graphics in. Manny, here you go.
Results from this 100 meters under 20 men semi-final. Heat 1, Karabo Letebele from South Africa. Jimoni Afrey and Mefembe Shuma. The top 3, Dina Moses from Ghana. Too far away in fourth. So these are the names we are expecting to see for the final, after these athletes compete for the several heats leading up to the finals. We've seen heat 1, and now time for heat 2.
Another very competitive event. This is where you have some of the names that actually set their own personal best yesterday. Talked about them earlier, and you might be looking to see them this time around run at their best. The Nigerian, John Caleb, will be looking to do his thing in this one. Also got that man, Clinton Watinya. Another name that is tipped to have a podium finish at the end of the race. Do you just look at some of those names and say, yes, they are ready for this event, but how good can they be finishing in the top 3? Sometimes it's not about your personal best, it's about what you do in that particular race, and that's what these athletes are looking forward to doing in the end. Just wish them all the best and look forward to seeing them do the best of it in the end. Caleb John, the man who has a camera on him at this point, one of the athletes tipped to get into the final.
Botswana also in the mix. Selepe Prince Faisal. 2 of them in the mix. Matakule Waza going to compete and hopefully see if they can do the job for Botswana. This heat 2, 100 meters on the 20 men semi-final. We're on the way, heat 2, 100 meters on the 20 men semi-final. You got the man from lane 1 just almost, he relinquished his position, and he was really tight in the end, really tight. Watinya Clinton from Kenya showing once again that he is the man to beat. We saw him on day 1 in the heat leading up to the semi-finals. Watinya Clinton once again has done really well in this semi-final. Remember the name, he will be competing in the final. It was close, really close, especially close to that finish point.
Really close, and you saw Caleb John going back to third, Watinya Clinton holding strong and looking like he crossed the line first. It's really a close one. Lane 1 also was that man who, I think he finished second, but the Kenyan is just the perfect guy for the job. Talked about him earlier. Did some good race yesterday, had the best of times yesterday, and he's held on to that strong, and that's just how to continue in that light. We'll be looking forward to seeing him in the final. It's going to be that competition between him and Karabo Letebele with what we've seen so far.
Watinya Clinton from Kenya must be word for not too educated followers for athletics to see a Kenyan in a 100-meter race. This man, Watinya Clinton, might just be making you to change your thoughts. Great runner, great sprint, and he will be competing in the final.
So as we see, we have the Kenyans now going into the sprints as well as the jump. As we know, the Kenyans are actually the ones that hold the African record for the 100 meters. So they now hold the records for the longest and the shortest races on the track.
And they are really focusing on what they want. Now they know they've conquered a particular stuff, and they just don't want to keep hearing that cliche, we're good at long distance races. They're turning things around, trying to also do it in the long distance races, and this is one of them also doing the same, moving in the light of what we already know them for, and even doing beyond what we know them for. Really good one from Kenya, I must say. A great race, and from Clinton. We'll be looking to do more in the final, and it's going to be a great competition for him. Congratulations.
Well, while we continue to enjoy the event, we've got Taiwo Majax also on pit side, this time with the winner of these heats we saw momentarily, Watinya Clinton from Kenya.
3, 2, 1, you're live, go.
Well, we've just witnessed the men's under 20 100 meters semi-final, and I can tell you for a fact it is this amazing Kenyan who has done it again. Yesterday he ran 10.39 seconds, and now he's done his personal best of 10.36. How are you feeling? I mean, yesterday was one of the most competitive, and now you've just broken your own personal best as well.
Yes, I feel much excitement, and I thank the Lord for this, and also my coaches, my fellow Kenyans, for giving me support. They encouraged me that I can do it, and indeed I've done it. Also for the finals, I'm going to put a new personal best, because that's what I'm here for.
I mean, there's so much to look forward to in the final with some of the other guys, Jaden and the West also doing well in the heat. Do you think you can really surpass and break your own record?
Yeah, let's just wait for the finals and do it. I will not talk much. I just say, let's meet on the track so that you can see who's the winner.
All the best, all the best. Well, he's a man that likes to do his talking on the tracks, and guess what? He's just done it by winning the men's under 20 100 meters hurdle, and it's through the finals. Of course, all of the event happening here as far as the under 18, under 20 Junior Africa Athletics Championship is concerned. The action is live here, and of course, we are going to give you all of the action. It's time to talk to Manny and Zubi on standby in the commentary booth.
Watinya Clinton wants to do his talking on the tracks. Decathlon, we are back. This time it is long jump on the 20 men. Isani Mehi, Blessing Emmanuel, Verkotse, Getas Walid Faris, Gorafi Mochene, and Twati Walid, all competing for the long jump decathlon. We saw them earlier.
Same guys you saw earlier in the first decathlon. They are going for their second event. We've seen them do 100 meters. They are going for the second event right now, and it's really going to be beautiful doing the second, remaining 8. It's a gradual process, and this is a marathon event if you ask me. Decathlon, 10 sports, 1 gone down, second to go down in the beat, and we give them all the best with Algerians looking to dominate this one with 4 athletes at least from this great African event for the men.
Yes, like we said, unlike the standard long jump where each jumper has 6 jumps if they are less than 8, for the decathlon, because we know it's a 10 events, 2 days to conserve energy, so for the jumps and the throws you only have 3 attempts. You only have 3 attempts for the decathlon, so you have to make most of those 3 attempts and try and get your farthest run or your highest jumps in those 3 attempts.
That's beautiful. Knowing the fact that they understand that they have to conserve energy. I love the fact that they are giving them all of these opportunities, and this event makes you see the best of these athletes.
Blessing Emmanuel for Nigeria. It is a long jump attempt.
I think we should leave everything here to Otoye to take
you
over.
Could see if you can just use your camera eye. You see that's a bit over 650 meters.
Exactly, over 6.5.
Yeah,
so
it's close to that, and we have a white flag for that. So that's
a good jump.
That's a registered jump.
We've got Getas Walid Faris from Algeria getting ready for his jump attempt. Here he comes for his runoff. We'll wait to see what the takeoff will be. And here he goes.
A little over 6 meters for the Algerian, and that's a white flag also. Yeah, so he has registered the mark.
Surely he jumped before the whiteboard, which is very much important. His leg didn't cross, and that's why he got that white flag. Just a bit behind Emmanuel. Still looks like Emmanuel still has in the lead. Remember, he won the 100 meters race, the Nigerian, and wants to also maybe add this to his feathers
yes.
and increase his points.
A bit of the technical aspect of the jump. Your leg has to be planted on the board. If your leg is after the board, it's considered a no jump.
And if it's before the board, you're good.
Well, it's before the board, it's a good jump, but you have to be, that's why they measure their run-up so that you're on the board, not behind it. Because if you're behind the board, you're losing distance because
exactly.
They only start measuring from the board.
I was about to ask you, what are the do's and don'ts as far as long jump is concerned? What is an athlete supposed to do not to get disqualified? You know, more like generally, what are the rules? Do you get your leg past the takeoff board? What constitutes of a no jump when it comes to this sports? When it comes to long jump. In the meantime, before you come, this is another Algerian coming for his jump, and here he goes. The lift was good. The takeoff. That's also not the very best. The white flag is raised.
He has done over just a little over 6 meters. Also, as we were talking about the technicalities for the jumps, like I said, if you step over the board, it's considered a no jump. You can also do what we call cancelling. You can cancel, so you kind of like walk back your jump. Then you want to cancel it. Yes, that's another way to cancel your jump, but it's not advisable because sometimes your highest jump might not be your winning jump, because if another person jumps exactly the same thing, they now go to take the second highest jump to determine the winner. So it's not advisable to cancel any of your jump, no matter how bad you think it is. It might be a bad jump that gives you the medal.
Gwefi Mocheni was that man who had the last jump. He just did a bit over 6 meters. He didn't do so much walk in the air. He just jumped and landed easily. There was no air walk like we have with Michael Jordan.
Jumping techniques. There's a hitch kicking, there's a hanging, there's a kind of like running. So what works for you?
Algerians jumping side by side. This.
Yeah, it's like his run-up didn't tally. He could see from behind that he'd missed his check marks. That is why he didn't reach the board. So he kind of like walked. You see what he did? He walked back. So he cancelled. Because technically, even as he jumped like that, that was still a good jump.
Still a good jump.
So, but he walked it back to cancel it.
So when you cancel, does it mean you still have one jump extra? Or you
have only 3 jumps. Once you cancel that, you only have 2 left.
2 left. Okay, now I get. So it doesn't look like anybody can cancel and go back again and keep cancelling.
No, you cannot. You cancel, you cancelled.
It's a learning call for us. Emmanuel and I are saying thank you for the lectures.
You're welcome.
It's really a beautiful sport. I love to see a long jump. I think I can also sustain myself in the air. But when you don't pay attention to all of these sports or put more energy into it, you don't get the results.
Did you just say you can sustain yourself in the air?
Yeah. I don't understand the sustenance you're talking about. Not at night.
The thing about the jump, the thing about the jump is that even though you have a perfect, when you tested your run-up, you might have a perfect jump. But if the wind changes or even goes back or forth, your stride length might change and then you might not meet the board. So it's really dependent on a lot of things. If it gets warmer, you become faster. It changes your run-up. If it gets cooler, you get cooler. It changes your run-up. If it's windy, it changes your run-up. So these are the things you have to manage as an athlete so that you don't miss the board.
Over the Moroccans enjoying and soaking the atmosphere here at the MKO Viola Sports Arena. Now Morocco currently playing host also to Africa for the Women's African Cup of Nations, currently ongoing. All others ones are here in Nigeria for the 3rd CAA African Junior Championship.
Emmanuel, pardon me, I am saying that book that the beautiful ones are not yet done, because I am seeing these faces, even though I know you were saying it in a different context. These ones are beautiful. Every part of Africa, look at the Ethiopians and their smile, also giving you that love. Is that an emoji now or sign? It's a beautiful feel right here. I love the fact that they are happy every other day that they come into this event. The fact is that they feel at home, and that's the first.
This is more than a championship. It's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship. It's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship. It's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship. It's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot, the stakes are high. History's about to be made. The third CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship. It's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss the fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready,
Also, very much competing to the very best. Clinton Owatinya, we saw moment ago, ran the fastest time in the heats, and now he's also done it now in this semi-final heat 1. Clement Owatinya powering to a new personal best of 10.36 seconds to win the semi-final heat 2 at the under 20 men's 100 meters semi-finals. How do you achieve your personal best in 2 heats in same event? That is the case of Clement Owatinya. Personal best yesterday in the heats, and now also in the semi-final heat 2 today.
And he's telling you that that's not still his best. He still's got more to offer in the final. I love that confidence. Most likely his mind will be on breaking Enoch Adegoke's 2019 record in the 100 meters for the under 20s men of 10.29 seconds. That's a championship record. We're still looking forward to seeing maybe a change with Tamawatinya. We also have the South African who did wonderfully well in his own heats. These are men who want to actually hold their ground. It's going to be interesting to see how he pans out in the end.
The third CAA African Athletics Championships combined, under 18, under 20s, all here to compete for honors representing their respective African countries. Interesting results so far we've seen. We saw Fenyo Lian outclassing the field in the heats of the under 18 boys.
The last event this morning is the shot put decathlon. I want to seize this opportunity to remind you
also
that
saw Karabo Latadeli. But just before we go deep into that, we'll be going back to Taiwo Majex with some couple more interviews. Enjoy.
Championship. His name is Hamu Tijani. It's good to have you to speak to us at this point in time. It's been a couple of days since this event started. How has it been in terms of managing, officiating, as far as this championship is concerned?
Thank you at first, and excuse me because my English is not very good. We are here to organize the third U-18 and U-20 athletics championship, African championship. We are here in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very good country. This city also very good. All officials, Nigerian officials, very gentle and very good, and they work correctly. I wish that the championship will be very good, like Asaba and like Wari.
Well, so much of what you do is not known. So to our viewers, what exactly do chief judges and referees, as far as this championship is concerned, what are their roles and functions, and how important is their work? For the judges, for the referees, how important is their work for a championship as massive as this?
I hope that the National Federation has prepared before this championship with their officials. They are from, I hope, from all Nigeria, not only from this city. Generally, the judges are very good. They want to work. They want to learn. They want to have new rules and new relations with others.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us at this point in time, and keep up the good job you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you also you are very gentle, and thank you for the television.
All right, thank you too. Have a good one. All right.
My English is not.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I know. Well, it's quite interesting, and that is the beauty of language as far as engaging with other Africans is concerned. We just heard from the chief judge of this championship, Amu Tijani. Let's talk to this very tall man, taller than me, by the way. It's good to speak to you at this point in time, and I know that covering a championship as this is very massive. What has been the experience like so far, seeing these young athletes competing at the highest level?
Oh well, it's a good competition for young athletes, because this is where you catch them young. This is the kind of tournament that gives young athletes exposure to see what they can do in this sport, because some of them are still at the discovery stage. They are still trying to know if they are going to pursue this, and but it's good. For example, for Nigeria, we know that we have young athletes who are, doing very well, who have shone on the first day. Couple of personal bests yesterday, and it's good, and hopefully there will be more personal bests for these young athletes, and it will give them the confidence to pursue a career in athletics.
It has to be said that I am greatly impressed by what Making of Champions are doing in terms of how they are projecting young athletes in Africa, as the case may be. Now, with what you've seen so far here, how impressed are you with the quality of work you've done with Making of Champions?
Oh, well, we have 4 athletes who are representing Nigeria here at the African Junior Championships. Like I said, there have been a couple of personal bests. Lucy Wankwa ran the personal best yesterday in the 100 meters, and she will be competing in the final later today. She ran 11.80 seconds. Tohibat was the best athlete in the 400 meters yesterday. She ran 53.77 seconds, the fastest overall in the 400 meters. So for the women, it's quite impressive, seeing the work we've been doing. And these athletes just joined us about 1 year in Lagos, and now we're seeing the kind of progress they are making. It's testament the kind of work we've put in. We can't do it alone. There's room for a lot of corporate bodies to come in to sponsor and to, set up organizations like Making of Champions, so that there will be so many athletes, discovered across the country. Yeah.
Well, for a championship as this, it's worthy of note that the top teams that have performed very well are those who have sizable investment, and of course you want to consider system and structure as well in terms of how these young athletes are built up through different events at the national levels. From a Nigerian perspective, what would you say to the investment in sports, in young athletes, and the system and structure, as it were, for these young athletes to climb up the ladder and of course set up themselves as far as the career is concerned?
So, for example, South Africa on day one won 6 medals across different events. Like, they are even winning medals in 1500 meters, which is traditionally an East African event. And now they are doing so well in that kind of event. So, for Nigeria, we need to invest in the sport. This facility was renovated or was built newly this year. If we can have something like this across all the regions, not just, pockets of places, maybe Lagos, Abuja, like we can have it across the country. Like if every state has something like this, I'm sure, in a matter of years we'll be seeing fruits. Like it will start yielding fruits for us. So we have to really invest in it. Sports is very expensive. People, when we talk about investing in sports, it's not just pittance, it's not small money, all right? It's capital intensive. We need to intentionally invest in sports so that we can start yielding fruits. Look at South Africa, like look at what they are doing. Who wouldn't want to be them?
Amazing. Thank you very much, and good job with your team. All the best. All the best. Well, Abeokuta, and from wherever you are watching here in Africa, I can tell you for a fact there is so much happening here in Abeokuta, witnessing the rise of these young athletes who are set for the global stage. Well, we'll still have some more interviews coming up for you. Well, we've got someone from Tectonics who are Spectronics, who are the official timekeepers of this athletics championship. Ambrose Campbell is his name. He speaks to us now and he joins me right here. It's amazing to talk to you at this point in time. So far so good. There is so much work Timetronics have been doing in the last couple of years as far as athletics event is concerned. How important is ensuring that the equipment are well timed, so that there is no error due to parallax and all of that, to ensure that these times are taken well.
So all the equipment has to be certified to guarantee that the times are authenticated and accepted by World Athletics. So all the equipment has to be maintained. So I came out so that I could help make sure that the maintenance is done properly, so that we can actually have a very successful event. The times are all official times, which is good. That's what it wins for the athletes.
Well, that's amazing. One other thing that one may have observed is how well you've done in terms of planning and organizing and making sure that some of these equipment are well where they should be, as the case may be. I mean, what amount of work goes into that for some of our viewers who could be fascinated with all of the timings and all of that, getting the exact timing and ones of these athletes?
Well, the times that run are all the way to 3 decimal places. So if you have a look at the photo finishes that we luckily haven't had to have anything that is that close at this point. But it takes a lot of preparation. We have to make sure all the cables are right. We have to make sure that everything is 100%. We test before the events to make sure that when the gun goes off, it is absolute zero. So it just takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of time.
Amazing. The rest of Africa is seeing the amazing work you're doing with what you're doing. So thank you very much, and I hope that you keep up the good job. All right. Well, that's been Ambrose Campbell from Sportronics, who has the official timekeeper as far as this championship is concerned. And all of the action is happening here in Abeokuta, the Under-18, Under-20 African Athletics Championship. It is day 2, and there is more to come. We are done with the morning section. The afternoon section resumes right after this. Well, it is back to the guys in the comment booth. Mandy and Zubi, take it away from here.
Oh, beautiful job. Firewoman Jacks there standing by for all the interviews and filling the pause of the dignitaries and officials who are also here today for the action. Well, it's been a beautiful morning session here at the MKO Abiola Sports Arena, and it's been wonderful. He's begun the day with the hurdles, 110 meters, and now we've got the 100 meters for the men's finals. Still got a lot more to come much later in the day, so you want to keep it locked with us as the events continue to unfold here. It is the 3rd CAA African Athletics Championship. We'll go on a break till we come back. Not to go anywhere. Keep it locked.
The fire, the flair, the future of African athletics. Proudly brought to you by the National Sports Commission, NSC. Get ready, Nigeria. The tracks are hot. The stakes are high. History's about to be made. The 3rd CAA African Junior Athletics Championship storms Abeokuta, Ogun State. From July 16th to 20th, 2025, the continent's fastest, fiercest under-18 and under-20 athletes will blaze the fresh new tracks of the iconic MKO Abiola Stadium, home of champions. Over 500 stars from more than 50 African nations chasing glory, chasing gold as South Africa fights to defend its crown. This is more than a championship. It's a showcase of strength, speed, and Nigeria's unmatched hosting spirit. Don't miss